Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, here, this is some more Dark Souls 2 footage. This is actually where I'm at in the game at this moment. As you can see with the other videos I put up, I got a lot of videos to put up because it's a lot further back and this is where I'm at. Now, the reason why I'm showing these videos is one, because I wanted to show you guys some of the co-op battles I've been doing, because I really love doing co-op. But the second reason why I'm putting these videos up is because, we need to talk. Dark Souls 2 players out there, especially on the PC, we need to talk. Because, you guys, I'm not trying to sound like an elitist here. I'm not the best player in the world. I've had my share of deaths in this game. You know, but at the same time, guys, you need to get your stuff in order here. I have been helping, or should I say, I've been trying to help people out with this particular boss for a while now. And the amount of meltdowns and deaths I keep seeing with this boss battle are insane. I've put together this compilation of deaths because they are quite amusing, but at the same time, they're kind of horrifying. It's like gameplay skill has kind of gotten out the window when it comes to fighting against this particular boss. I don't know what it is about him that people seem to fail pattern recognition skills or like being able to dodge or whatever. I don't know what it is, but there are some crazy ass meltdowns going on with this battle. Like, watch this, watch this. Boom! It's seriously, people don't know that he has an explosive attack after that jump. Most of the time when he jumps in the air and lands, he explodes. You don't go near him when that happens. Okay. I didn't just put up these videos just to complain about people going up against this boss, even though this so far seems to be the biggest frustrations I've had in trying to keep people alive here. But I also just want to talk about co-op in general, because there are a couple of things going on with co-op that I really feel needs attention. So here are a couple of guidelines I have for people who are summoning other people in their worlds for co-op. Guideline number 1, please don't waste our time. If you happen to see our summon sign right next to the boss door, watch this one. This is boom, and look, boom, explosion. It's like no one got the memo that that's what happens every time. Anyway, number 1, don't waste our time. When we put our summon sign next to the boss door, it's because we're there to help you beat that particular boss. Now, I don't have any gameplay footage recorded of some of the real stupid things that have happened with people who didn't seem to understand that, but there have been times I've put my boss sign right next to this boss door, I get summoned, and then the guy just runs off to deal with the rest of the level. Okay, I understand that this level can be frustrating and there's certain areas that you kind of want help in, but there are plenty of other summon signs in other areas of the level that, you know, where those people are there to help you do that. And there, good old stupid Lucatiel just flings herself off the cliff. But yeah, if our sign is next to the boss door, we're there to help you with the boss, not to help you throughout the level. So don't go wandering off elsewhere, you know, because that confuses us, and then, you know, we're wondering, why did you summon us for? We're here to help you with the freaking boss. Yes, now it's just me and him, and how this fight ends is just kind of sad. Second thing, when you summon us, can you please wait for us to show up? One thing I regret is that I started recording this like when I was well into, like, say, an hour and a half of recording, of playing. And there were several times when I got summoned and the person was already in the room fighting the boss. And I'd run into the room just in time to see the dude die. You know, you summoned us to help you out, so why the hell did you rush in there to get your ass kicked before we can come in to try to prevent it from happening? Wait for us to show up. I mean, yeah, I understand waiting can sometimes be frustrating, especially if you happen to be playing on the PlayStation 3 version with, you know, long wait times and load times and stuff like that, but trust me, it's a lot better to wait a couple of minutes for us to finally show up in your game world than to just speed things up and get killed because we couldn't be there to help distract the boss from, you know, putting his sword up your ass. And that guy, as you can see, could not dodge. And me, the squishy one of the room, I can dodge just fine. Anyway, another tip. If you're having a hard time with the boss battle and you summon people into your world, do us a favor and follow our lead. I mean, I know this doesn't happen all the time. There have been times when I've noticed that the other person who's been summoned with me also doesn't get the hint on how to deal with the boss, but most of the time, the reason why, you know, we've put up our sign there is because we already know how to deal with this boss. So if you happen to notice us doing things like, say, moving away from the boss, even though it looks like he's wide open, there's a good reason for that. It might be a good idea for you to follow suit and follow our lead instead of running in, you know, all gung-ho, and then the next thing you know, you get killed. And me and the other guy just looking at you going, what the hell is he doing? We backed away for a reason. If you see the other, if you happen to be playing with an ally, like if you summon somebody in your world and you notice they're really good at dealing with the boss and they happen to be running away from him even though it looks like the boss is wide open, you might want to do the same thing. And if you notice that we're charging in at certain times, that's your clue to charge in. You know, unless you happen to need to heal or something. Which leads me to my next point. Again, they just don't understand that you're supposed to not charge in when that... Anyway. Leads me into my next tip. I'm forgetting why I was dealing with this guy here. Oh yeah, this particular fight, which also kind of went weird. Anyway, the next tip. Many times when we get summoned into your world, especially those of us who really understand the game or that definitely understand... Oh, this... Actually, you know what? Before I go into my next tip, this fight in particular was one of the biggest wow moments. I missed a lot of other... I forgot to record the other wow moments, but this one. Look at this. Right off the bat. Yeah, I get hit because I didn't realize he was going for me. Most of this fight, the boss for some reason was after me, like I owed him money or something. I decided to use this to my advantage in the sense of, okay, as long as he keeps chasing me, and notice, by the way, now that I know what's up, now that I realize that the boss just hates me for some reason, I'm dodging him just fine. I decided to use this to my advantage. I figured, okay, as long as he focuses on me, he's not hitting the host player, and I could try to keep his attention on me so that the host player can stay alive. The host does not take advantage of this. You will see what I mean. Like, keep in mind, only that initial time he was able to hit me. This whole other time, I'm not getting hit, and I'm the squishiest one in the room. I can tell because these guys, you know, they got the swords and shields, they got tank builds, they got strength builds. I'm using a dex int build, and I only got 10 vitality, or 10 vigor actually. And yet, I'm dodging them just fine. And once again, he comes after me like I owe money, and I just dodge him just fine. Now watch what happens here. Yeah. This was the kind of night I was having. I was here for 2.5 hours, and most of the time it was straight up death. In fact, that one just blew my mind, like how I had to do this in mode. I knew this was when I was recording. I just had to throw this in because, yeah, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Anyway, sorry about that. Let me get on to the next tip, which is kind of related to what I just showed you. Many times when those of us who are summoned to your world are playing the game, we know that the most important person in that room is you, because you're the one who needs to beat that boss, and if you die, the whole thing is over. Now, yes, we also want to stay alive, because if we stay alive and are able to beat the boss with you, we get rewards. Like at this point, I'm part of the Sunbro Covenant at the moment, because I was trying to get a certain sword from the Covenant. Most of the time I'm with the Blue Sentinels, but that's neither here or there right now. We get rewards. With the Sunbro Covenant, you get sunlight medals, and then with the sunlight medals, you rank up and you get cool shit. But if we notice that the boss is kicking your ass, those of us who understand what the important thing about PvP co-op is that we're gonna go in there and try to get the boss's attention and get him after us. If we die because of it, so be it. The main thing is to keep you alive. So if we're doing things like sacrifice plays, or if you happen to be getting your ass kicked and we jump in there to get the boss off of you, that's your time to back up and heal. So do that. Don't go charging in to continue attacking while you happen to have only like 10% life left after we're making a sacrifice play trying to get him off your back. I really wish I had been recording earlier the night I was recording all this, because at least 3 times I went in and got the boss off the guy's back only to see the host then charge into attack and then get killed for his stupidity, which ended up just ruining the sacrifice play that I wasted my time doing. Just, I mean, know when to back away and heal, okay? And know when we're trying to keep you alive. Like that guy, yeah, that guy didn't make it. That guy just did not make it. Again, he just didn't have the skills to dodge, which, okay, I understand that dodging it's a little bit trickier in this game, but seriously, just okay. That's pretty much it as far as like just basic stuff when it comes to co-op. Just use your common sense. Don't waste our time when you summon us. Realize you're summoning us for a purpose. And second, wait for us to show up. Third, if you're struggling with the boss and you notice that we're not, then follow our lead, or at least get the hell out the way so that you don't get killed. And four, if we're jumping in the way to save you, then, you know, take advantage of that. Back away and heal, because we're seeing you getting your ass kicked. So we're going to try to get in there and help you, at least those of us who are scrupulous will. So take advantage of that and heal. Now, as far as this particular boss goes, okay, I guess I'm being a little unfair. He is kind of tough for people who are first dealing with him, but he's not that hard. As long as you... Okay, there's two basic ways to deal with him, or I guess two basic ways to prepare to deal with him. One is what I consider the tanking way, if you're just going to simply block his shots all day. If you're going to do that, then what you're going to need to do is make sure that your fire resistances are maxed out. So you're going to want to, you know, collect your orange burrs, which you can get from Rosabeth before you make it to this room. You know, buy them from Rosabeth and get your hands on some. See, here I'm trying to get the boss off his back. You're going to notice, like, I take the hit, I take the beating, but I don't care. It's just, I'm trying to get the boss off his back. That's what you're supposed to do. That's your job as the ally. You see, I'm still swinging. I'm trying to like, stay away from attack me. But anyway, you know, you want to stock up on your fire resistances, and you also want to wear fire-resistant armor. You want to get your orange burrs. Yay! A success! An actual freaking success! Yeah, I'm showing the successes now. I did have a few that night. You want to get some fire-resistant armor, which you can get from this very area. Like, you know, spend some time farming the knights here so you can get their armor, and then before you walk into this room, use your orange burrs, wear the orange crystal ring, the orange quartz ring, I think is what it's called. You want to wear that. You want to also wear the your fire-resistant armors. And another good idea is, if before you fight this boss, you're gonna have a chance to get your hands on the dull ember, the dull fire ember from this place. Immediately go to Macduff's workshop, give him the ember, and then buy the crest. I think it's the Royal Crest shield that he sells. If I got it wrong, I'll put the right name in the text description. But then get that, because it has really good resistances. And if you decide to make it a fire shield, if you infuse it with fire, then you'll sacrifice some of its physical durability, physical resistances, but it boosts up the fire resistance. So you can block with that shield all day, and plus with your fire resistance boosting orange burr, as well as your fire armors, you can block the boss all day, and that will save your ass from dealing with it. The other tip I have is just get good at dodging. His attacks aren't that hard to read. I will admit his, like, when he's just like slashing with his sword, that one's a bit tricky, but his... Oh, I guess we did still have a failure. Whoops. Yeah, I forgot that one. I was actually supposed to put that one before I showed the success. Sorry. But yeah, if you get really good at dodging, then you just want to dodge, wait for his big openings, and then hit him once, maybe twice, then back the hell away. Your biggest chance to hit him is after his 3-hit combo, when he just simply slams the sword down as a 3rd hit. If he does the jump move instead of the 3rd hit, you want to back the hell away, because as you just saw, he tends to do the explosion. Now, sometimes he doesn't, and there is a way to tell if he's not going to do the explosion. He'll get up a little bit quicker than he normally does, and like that. That's when you know he's not going to do the explosion. But personally, if you're not that good at dealing with him, I just suggest that you stay the hell away from him when he does the jump move. Yeah, you might miss out on the chance of being able to get a quick hit on him, but it's a lot better than reading it wrong, rushing in, and then getting hit with the stupid explosion and getting one-shotted possibly. Which, as you can see, is the way that most of these people die. Because they haven't gotten the memo. And that's pretty much how you deal with them. And quite frankly, if you happen to have magic, spam that shit. I don't care if people say it's cheap. You're dealing with the computer, okay? You're not dealing with another player. Spam that magic. But at the same time, be good at dodging too. I've seen too many other spammers who just spam magic, spam magic, spam magic, and then all of a sudden the boss runs after them, and then suddenly they forget they forget how to roll, or they forget how to block if they got a decent shield. Make sure your basic combat mechanics are up to snuff before you deal with this guy. If you can't dodge, can't block, you're not ready to deal with this guy. So you might want to tighten that up before you get into this room. But still, if there's just one thing I could tell you guys, if there's only one tip you're going to remember, it's this. Stay the hell away from that jumping attack. Seriously. Don't move in until after he's fully gotten up, because you're probably going to eat the explosion for your trouble. Only move in after he misses, like, okay, boom, that. Then you want to just stay the hell away. After, like, that time, okay, yeah, you probably could have moved in, but unless you know how to tell dude to read, that's a risk. Like there, that's a good time to get a hit. Boom, that slam. That's a good time to sneak behind him and get a hit. And after that, he's not really all that hard. Do keep in mind, though, you might have noticed a strategy I tend to do against this guy, and I'm going to tell you my strategy for dealing with him right now, though. If you've been watching this, you should know what that strategy is. Basically, in the beginning, in this particular case, I happen to have been working on my melee skills, so I'm not doing my actual strategy, but generally, I just go in the room and I just start spamming magic. If you don't have magic, yeah, that guy just got clobbered. Like I said, I had more failures than successes. You know, I go in the room and I tend to pelt him with attacks, usually magic attacks, until I see him do that first charge up move where he just suddenly like boosts up his flames, and suddenly he's like, right now he just simply has fire in his stomach. Then he's gonna do his like angry charge move, and he just gets more in the flames. You want to stop attacking at that point. Yeah, it looks like it's free damage, and it is, but the problem is, while he's charging up, he takes less damage than he normally does. So I kind of consider it a waste of time, and especially a waste of magic, to attack him at that moment. You notice I wait until after he finishes charging before I'm able to do it again, so it can be full damage. Now, at this point, when he starts doing that fire charge on his sword, you notice that's when I move in and I start doing my poison fog move on him. This boss is actually really susceptible to poison. If you happen to have the toxic fog move, like I think that's what it's called, that's the best time to do it, because he's just going to stand still. So while he's charging up his sword, that's when you'll move in and do that thing, and then now he's affected by poison, so it's slowly whittling away his life. If you don't have that move, yay, success! If you don't have that move, then just simply, you know, using, like, infusing your sword with the, you know, dark pine resin, I think that's, or the rotten pine resin, I think that's what it's called. Or if you happen to have poison knives or poison arrows, that's another good thing to use against him, because he's really susceptible to it. So that's the best time to, you know, just pelt him with poison and whittle away his life that way, and then just move in for the kill with the other attacks afterward. Now keep in mind that when he charges himself up with fire and then later on charges up his fire sword, he's a lot more dangerous than before. For one thing, if you're attacking him in melee range, you're going to take fire damage up close, which again is why having fire resistances is really useful in going up against him. Also, when he charges up his sword, his you know, that flaming sword of his does lots more freaking damage. Not to mention that now it does a projectile attack when he does that, you know, sword slamming move. So, fucking avoid it. You know, it's a little tricky to avoid when he does that, you know, overhead slam sword move, but you can still read it pretty well. When you see he's just about to slam the sword down, that's when you dodge. And he'll miss, and then you can just move in and whack him a couple of times. So yeah, as you can see, I move in and I poison him, and now his life is going to whittle down, and I just start blasting him with lightning again. I mean, magic again. Hey, I'm using a Dex Int build. What do you want from me? I know how to melee, I just don't see the point. You know, considering that I kind of put these clips out of order, because because I was supposed to put all the failures first and then all the successes afterwards. But now this is out of order, so I'm not exactly sure if this is a success or not. No, it's a success. I recognize the player. This particular fight I liked because I effed up there. I forgot to charge my sword. I forgot I ran out of magic. This particular player, if you notice, was coordinating his attacks properly with mine and with Lucatiel's. And thus we were able to win. This was a smart player. Granted, I'm probably going to have to kill him later on as a blue sentinel because I noticed he's wearing the merchant set, which means he must have killed the merchant there. And he's going to have to pay dearly for that. But whatever. For now, we were allies. But yeah, coordinating attacks with each other is a really good idea. But I happen to have mentioned Lucatiel, which brings me to the subject of Lucatiel. Now, this game is post-patch. Before the patch, Lucatiel was a blithering idiot with this boss. She just did not survive this fight. Unless you were a powerhouse and you were just like taking chunks of damage off this boss and you're like going neck and neck, you know, toe to toe with him, she usually died here. And it was because she was a blithering idiot. She would always charge in like when he was about to explode. She'd walk right into his sword attacks. I mean, it was just horrible. So yeah, like some people didn't even bother bringing her into the room because it was just an effort and frustration. Some people even used a glitch to get her to walk off the cliff but land on one of the safe platforms where she would just simply stand there. And that was their way of being able to make her survive this fight. So, you know, it would be credit toward her, you know, keeping her storyline going. Yep, that guy didn't read the memo about charging into the explosions. It really gets on my nerves. But after the patch, I'm noticing Lucatiel has a lot more life now. So she's a lot more likely to survive this fight. If you've noticed, in fact, the fights that we've won, that Lucatiel was in the room, she survived. But they didn't really smarten up her AI any. You'll know she still gets hit a lot. But at the least, they gave her more freaking life so she can, you know, survive. I guess because people were just getting... I guess they were hearing all the complaints about people calling Lucatiel an idiot. Though, quite frankly, Lucatiel isn't the dumbest computer phantom you can have. You'll meet the dumbest one later when you get to the Shrine of Anima. That's the dumbest freaking one. I forgot her name, something the Brave. The joke with her is that she's not the smart. She may be the Brave, but she's definitely not the smart. I forget her name for the moment, though. It'll come to me, or I'll probably just, like, before I render this video, I'll probably put it in the text description or something. But yeah, as you can see, like, I'm not really having, like, I'm dealing with this guy Melee. Oh, I got sniped here. I overshot. Like, if you know, I hit him twice instead of just once. But I still count this as a win because the guy was able to take advantage of my death to go in and kill the boss. That's why I put that in there, because I count that as a win. Yeah, I may have died, but the mission was completed in that the host lived and was able to kill the boss. And that's really what matters. If you're, you know, yeah, you may not get the reward, but so what? Okay, this is the last fight, co-op battle I'm going to show you. And this one also is a success. I forgot what we were waiting. Yeah, I don't know what he was waiting for, but I guess he was just making sure he was prepared for the battle or something. But this one does go well. And in fact, I don't think I even was bothering with... Yeah, this is another one where I just went melee. I didn't bother using magic attacks. I guess I did it kind of like to prove a point. Because I was noticing some people seem to have a lot of disrespect for sorcerer-type builds. Which I think is kind of unfair. I mean, yeah, dark magic notwithstanding, you know, hexes notwithstanding, I really do think that playing a sorcerer in this game isn't exactly easy. Yeah, hexes are super powerful, and yeah, I'm seeing people one-shot, you know, invaders and stuff with, you know, hex magic. But at the same time, all those points that they're putting into their magic, they're not putting into their melee skills, and sometimes they're not even putting it into having enough life. So if you know how to roll past magic attacks, and you should, these guys go down quick. I've had a couple of sorcerers try to invade me, and yeah, a few of them were able to one-shot me, but a couple of other times, you know, they spam their magic, and I just rush in, you know, to melee range, and suddenly these guys don't know what the hell to do. Like, they're trying to roll, and I just keep hacking them to death with my, you know, rapier and, you know, a couple of katana swipes, and they go down hard. They just die quick. It's really sad to watch. So, you know, sorcerers are not the end-all to be-all of builds. Though I do... At the same time, yeah, the whole Havel Mage thing, I understand people's frustration with that, too. By the way, you may notice that I'm dual-wielding a rapier and a katana. I am not planning to stay with this character. But I am noticing that it's a decent combination with this guy. The rapier is doing tons of damage, and it's a practical quick hit, while the katana is kind of like, you know, the sledgehammer side of things. It really helps to pour in the damage, and it gives me extra range with my swings. So I've been liking this combination, but it does eat up my stamina a bit. It's not as stamina friendly as the rapier and scimitar combo was. The rapier scimitar combo, by the way, is still my favorite dex combo in the game so far. If you haven't tried that yet, guys, I really recommend you try it for your dex build. You will be pleasantly surprised, I think, at how well it works. It's a very versatile combination of weapons. So you just gotta pick your moments to hit him. Don't get greedy. Just, you know, hit him once or twice. Just hit him once, and then there, he dies. So yeah, hopefully this was amusing to you people. I mean, I'm laughing now at some of these failures, but the time I was doing this, yeah, it was kind of frustrating seeing these people die over and over again. Oh well, take care, people.